the blood to the fingers, get the blood, check, courtesy check. He always has to check he's got shorts on, and he comes in and he goes, whoop, looks down his pants, check he's put his shorts on first.
It's important.
It is important.
One day. It's not ever happened on, like, I've never had where I've just gone. Well, I had obviously a hockey festival, but that's the Italian,
Can we see on Instagram?
Oh, we got it on Instagram, not yet.
No. I'm just lining up.
Oh, it's cold on the floor. We've got.
Because it's doing laps in the studio.
It's quite good. You can do circuit training today. Around here, up here, around here, around here. Get to let people in whilst we're digging about. No, jolly good.
Oh, good.
Give an update. Ordering some new mats. They're coming. Not that one to Instagram.
No, not yet.
Ordering some new mats.
Yes, and we're ordering some new mats.
Yes, they're exciting. They're 5mm thick. They've got like a rubber-esque surface to make them easier to wipe down.
Easier to clean.
And they've got guidelines on them so you can see your central poses and where you put your feet.
Yeah.
And they are made by the same factory as Lifeform and Manduka, so this is really good quality. I think they normally retail for about £100. We're getting them significantly cheaper than that. Although they have told me that they're not quite sure what the price of air travel or ship travel or train travel is.
Train from China.
Crikey,
they could be here from next June.
Yeah, so what we're needing lockdown to continue for about another 3 months so that Max can come, although obviously we have Max. Also ordered some new round 4 of eco-friendly, non-toxic, flexible, white, does not discolour, can have high temperatures and low temperatures and work in humidity paint. This was the.
You should work on the shopping channel that Rosie aspires to be on.
I know. So this was the brief that I gave to the guy yesterday at the. So instead of going to Wickes and just buying garage floor playing, which was a disaster, but only £25 a tin, this is about £200 a tin, but probably won't ever have to be done again. They're even going to put into the polyurethane, whatever it is, the mix of colour white. So that's exciting as well.
Woohoo, the mix of colour white.
And then obviously, I'm doing this, it's only you, Anne, so we could have just phoned each other. No, I think there are some other people there.
Is that heater going to be an issue?
No, it's alright, my phone's on you.
Yeah, that's okay.
Can't feel it if you've got me alive.
Can. It's just taking the edge off.
Taking the edge off.
Yes. You're gonna.
Oh, well, yeah. Everything's fine. All good.
La 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 la.
Still upsetting the way it goes. Perfect.
Da, 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 da.
Tell me about the party, Jen.
Party, Anne, 20th of June at the farm. We're going to have a summer barbecue. Hopefully everybody's going to be out of their lockdown by then. So we're going to have a big rise party from lovely members. Lots of fun, lots of eating. Hopefully the sun will be shining. And we can talk to each other face to face. Woohoo!
That's it. But there's not going to be a yurt. Ashton was doing it yesterday and she said they're going to have a yurt.
A yurt? She's just seen our teepee that we camp in.
Yeah, definitely not a yurt. They don't have a yurt, but I like the idea of a yurt. It'd be cool. I watched a programme about this family who had 3 kids and they went off to live in the woods in Canada in a yurt at -30. And I was like,
hardcore.
Like, that is amazing. The other half is, what are you doing? Why are you doing that?
I want to be a kitten.
And that's never going to keep. Those ears and noses are never going to follow you around Instagram.
Oh, how could I be a kitten on video? I don't think I can I?
No, it'll never work. That.
That'd be hilarious though.
Don't add that confusion to the already overly complex system. Alright, we've got 44 seconds.
Morning everybody, welcome. welcome to our new round of Flex 15. If you've not done a Flex class before, expect a bit of challenge, bit of fun, lots of smiles. We'll be doing a whole body workout, lots of work on flexibility and strength, particularly in the shoulders and the core, and of course those legs as well. So when you're ready, get yourself into position. We've got about 20 seconds to go.
Put camera on, Kitty, so we can see you.
Kitty, kitty, kitty.
Put the camera on. Give Anne some company.
So, come on down onto your mat. We are going to start in child's pose. We always like to start in child's pose. It's nice and passive. You get to breathe into back body. You don't have to do a whole lot, but you can just settle yourself. All right, folks, welcome to Flex 15. Come on down onto your mats and let's get ready. We're going to start in child's pose, allowing the fingers to stretch out towards the front edge of the mat and letting the forehead rest down on the floor. Now, if you have a gap between your heels and your hips, do not worry about that. You can always pop a cushion in there if you like. We're just going to find some stretch out and some length through the back body here. So breathing into the lungs like you'd breathe anywhere else, but breathing into the lungs, into the belly, filling the back body, letting the spine lift and expand, and just assisting gravity here in bringing the hips down in the general direction of the heels. Trying to release through the shoulders. Letting everything be soft and easy. Really visualize that space occurring in the hips. If you've got any slight twinges or aches, any pains anywhere in the body, see if you can release a little bit and find some relief on that exhale. Just allow yourself to settle into your practice this morning and not giving yourself a hard time if everything doesn't go to plan. I yesterday gave myself a really good talking to because I was getting really frustrated with what I couldn't do. But today I'm just going to breathe my way through it, and if it happens, and I'm happy with that. So not giving yourself a hard time if you can't quite make all the poses straight off the bat. So with our flex routine and every other routine that we do, we always move into a full 8 weeks of practice, so we get to move through the sequence and develop as we're going through. All right. Hopefully by the end of this we should be out of lockdown. We could practice together in the studio. Okay, one more breath in. And then release that breath. Good stuff. All right, inhale, rise up, find your way to all fours. And into a little cat-cow flow. So just finding space through the spine again here. So spread out the fingers nice and wide. Make sure you've got space down through the fingers there. Knees under the hips. You can have your toes tucked or untucked. It's entirely up to you. Just a little squeeze in through the belly like you're having a photograph taken on the beach. Squeeze it in, hold it in, suck it in. Are you ready? Let's flow. Use the hips. Inhale, lift the sit bones. Drop the belly down. Lift up through the chest. Pressing and lifting the chest through the upper arms. Exhale, rolling through the spine, tucking the pelvis under, and finding that lovely angry cat pose. I find our angry cat just swipes at us with a clawed paw and a hiss rather than a rounded back.
Turned off my computer yesterday and then hit me, the cat did.
Clever. Rounding through the spine, just breathing your way through this little flow, starting to just increase that movement through the spine after your night of sleep, unless you've been raving and misbehaving all night and you're not actually managed to make it to bed, who knows? It is Friday after all.
We used to do that.
We used to do that, yeah. Rounding through the spine one more time. Well done. Finding your way back to tabletop. So we're just going to take a few little wrist stretches here, little exercises. So starting to lift up the heels of the hands by pressing into the knuckles. So coming right up onto the fingers and then dropping the heels back down. So keep your rest of your body where it is, squeezing to lift, lifting the heels off and exhaling to press down. Now you can always slide the knees away a little bit further. Okay, keep making sure that the weight comes forwards if that feels okay. So lifting and lowering the heels of the hands. This can be done from plank as well, but we're not going to start that just yet. But if you do want to develop that a little bit more, you can lift and lower, yeah? Just to show what you mean. So you're lifting up through the heels of the hands and then lowering down. But from tabletop is absolutely fine. When you're ready, just sit down onto the heels. From there, take the left hand onto the right fingers. We're just going to extend the right arm and start to draw that right hand back a little bit. So you're really working on these wrist flexors here. So extending those wrist flexors. Perfect. Swap sides. Right hand onto left. Give it a little draw back. So we've got quite a lot of weight bearing on our arms this round, so we're just going to make sure that we feel nice and stretched. I also hurt my wrist a little bit yesterday, just trying to do too much in persistence of the wildcard and things. So making sure we stretch the other way, so the wrist extensors. So taking the left hand around the right hand and just letting the fingers come down towards the floor. So you're stretching over the top of the wrist and the top of the hand there. Lovely job. Just a couple of breaths and then swap it over onto the other hand. Right hand around the left. And then taking both hands out in front, making sure the fingers are facing the sky, relax the shoulders away, inhale. Exhale, just turning like a very slow jazz hands movement, bringing the fingers down towards the ground. So you're drawing sort of semicircles with the fingers coming all the way around to the top and all the way around to the bottom. So we're rotating through the forearm. So it's really coming from the shoulder. So you can feel that little squeeze in through the biceps. One more. Well done, releasing the hands back down to the mat. And let's have a go at cat pose, but with a knee drive this time. So taking the hands underneath the shoulders, extend away with the right leg. So using the three-legged table pose, gazes down. As you inhale, bring the knee into the nose, and then exhale to lengthen out. So it's like a kneeling knee drive. We're going to take two more on this side and then swap sides. Squeeze in. And exhale. Just allows our abs to warm up, gets our glutes firing up a little bit. Squeeze it in. And extend. Good. But keep the gaze down or looking towards that back knee, so you're not looking forwards on this one. All right, left side. Extend the left toes away. Try not to roll over onto your right side. Keep the weight even between the hands. Inhale. Knee to nose. Squeeze. And exhale. All of these motions, if you're just going through the motion, and just throwing the casual knee in and out towards the nose, that's not going to do you as well as if you really focus on that squeeze and allow your mind to engage with the movements. Okay, well done. Pop down onto these once more and back once more, sitting onto the heels. We're just going to take a spinal twist. Taking the left hand onto the right knee, sweeping the right arm around, or if you want a bit of shoulder movement and mobility, taking the right arm up and over. So lifting up through the chest, stacking through the spine, and then taking a very slow release all the way around to wherever you get to, doesn't matter. Letting the gaze just rest, feeling that lift through the torso, feeling the belly tighten up, allowing that spine to rotate. Well done. Exhaling your way back to center. Let's swap sides. Right hand onto the left knee, maybe coming up and over with that right arm if you can. Remember to pop the left hand as close to your toes as you can, so you're not leaning back. If you're leaning back, you're not stacking the spine, and that action of stacking the spine has loads of benefits. It's very calming for the nervous system. Also practicing release a little bit of stress as well. Okay, one more breath here. Inhale. And exhale, making your way back through center. Lovely job. All right, let's find our first transition of class. So from your tabletop, tuck the toes, lift up through the sit bones, and stretch out through the back body here. Whoa, good morning, hamstrings. Have a little wiggle out through the hips. Allowing the hips to be nice and high, looking for that triangle formation, that upside down pyramid shape. I'm not going to stay here too long. Look forwards, creep the toes towards the front edge of the mat. Loads an E-bend if you need it. You don't have to have your legs straight at this point. See if you can slide the fingers onto the shins and find a nice flat back. Hopefully still squeezing in through the belly here, releasing the shoulders away from the ears and then rolling down through the spine, letting the head hang down nice and heavy. I always like to have a little sway round here. It's up to you. If you'd rather just hang out in your forward fold, letting the neck be nice and long. Well done. Come back through center and let's root those feet down as we rise up. Bend the knees. Nice float up. Spread those arms wide. Lifting the palms to face each other or maybe bringing the palms together. Enjoy a little back bend if that's what you feel like taking this morning. Just a little teeny weeny one. Nothing too big yet. Take the hands down through heart center as you flow all the way down towards the ground, planting the hands, taking that big step back with one foot and then the other. You can always bring the knees down if you need to and take that knees, chest, chin lower. I'm going to take full plank because I'm a right planker. Taking the weight forward, squeeze the elbows in, lower down, low plank. Inhale, lift up through the chest, drop the hips down, shoulders moving the same way as the hips, and then rolling back into your downward facing dog once more, stretching out again through the calves, through the backs of the knees, the hamstrings, squeezing the upper arms together if you can, allowing the chest to melt towards the thighs for another 3, 2, and 1. All right, let's go. First round is plank round, squeezing that belly, rolling the weight forwards. You can take the opposite knee down if you like. So we're going to start off with a spider leg. So from plank, if you're taking knee down, it's right knee down first of all. We're going to drive the left knee around in a semicircle, coming to that left elbow. And then going to release all the way back. We're going to take 3 this side, so keep that right knee down if that's your option. Squeezing all the way around. Well done, working on opening out into the hip a little bit as well as shoulder strength. Final time. Squeeze and release. Good. So taking the other side this time. So keep that strong shoulder position. Release the shoulders away from the ears. Let's go right side. Drawing a big semicircle with the right knee around. And then release. 2 more. Remember, if you're taking the kneeling option, it's left knee down. Otherwise, that'll get very confusing. Final 1. Squeeze and release. Well done. So we're going to take a side plank this time. So take the right hand down and roll onto your left side. Now, the variation that I've put into this sequence is a bow. So if you feel like it, you can release your left hand to your left foot, drawing the left knee in line with the left hip, squeezing the buttocks so that you're pressing the hips forwards a little bit. You want to keep that nice, long, straight line. Now, there is a kneeling variation, of course. You can just take your right knee down and you can work into a kneeling plank instead. So from your kneeling plank, that's it. In your bow pose, just going to take 1 more breath. Inhale. And exhale, roll back through center. So we're going to take a wild thing now. We're going to switch it around the other way just for interest. We're going to take the right foot into the air. And we're going to take the the right foot all the way over into your wild thing. Now here's a jazzy bit for you. If you can, we're going to take the left foot up into the air and cross it over, she says. No, it's all right, it was just me being daft. I've done it again. Cross it over your right leg. So it's an option, it's a variation on wild thing. Taking that top left leg, lifting over. But of course, think about what we're trying to achieve in our wild thing. We're trying to get the hips nice and high, open up through the front body, so we're not going to stay here too long. For 3 is focusing on balance, so we'll work into that concentration. 2. And for 1, good. Release your right hand to the ground. Coming down onto your bottom, you're now facing the back of your mat. We're going to take a reverse plank. So planting the hands next to the bottom or halfway between the knees and the buttocks, if that suits you. We're going to press up into a reverse plank. If reverse plank isn't your thing, that's fine. Bring your hips a little bit higher, bring the ankles underneath the knees and find reverse table. So we're going to work here into a reverse plank L-sit. So I'm going to take my legs out a little bit further, squeeze to lift, exhale, control that descent of the butt, keeping the butt lifted, so you're taking lots of weight through the arms still. Inhale, squeeze to lift, exhale, lower, and again, inhale, squeeze to lift, and exhale to lower. Well done. You've got T-Rex arms. Pop down your buttocks onto the ground, and let's see if we can work into fish pose. Now with fish pose, you want to keep your hands in this sort of position where you're making sort of like the ace of spades. Taking the fingers underneath the butt, bringing the thumbs together, and rolling down onto the elbows. Now squeezing the elbows in. You might be thinking, what are we doing here in our plank round? I'll show you. So releasing the head down towards the ground. If you've got a cushion or something, you can always pop it underneath if you find this not comfortable. Now, this is quite strong, so be aware. If this is not working for you today, then just stay here in fish pose. I am going to have a go at releasing my arms, so pointing my fingers towards the ceiling, and then going to have a go at lifting up my legs as well. So you're resting on the crown of the head, so really working into strengthening and opening the chest and the throat. That's it, hold in there, well done. For 3, 2, and 1. Okay, take the arms down, take the legs down, release the head, and push back up. Coming back round through centre, switching forward so you're facing the front side of your mat. We're going to take the right hand down to the floor again, turn back to the side, and drop the right hip to the floor. So we've got here a side plank, but with the hips down. I'm going to give you a few options for this one. By keeping the hips down, you can feel that lovely stretch down the side. You can take a bind on that left leg and take an extension. Or if you want to work on that lift and lower of the right hip, you're still getting that stretch, but it's a dynamic rather than a static hold. So think about squeezing and lifting, lowering, make sure the right hand is underneath the right shoulder. For 3, well done, 2, and 1. Windmilling the left hand forwards, and let's go on the other side. So side plank, optional bow. Left hand plants underneath left shoulder, open out towards the right. So remember, you can take a kneeling version with your your left foot down, taking a bind around the front of your right ankle if you can. Keep squeezing onto the buttocks, making sure that you feel strong in your plank. Hold it there for 5, 4, well done, 3, 2, 1. Release the foot, release the right hand down, pivot, find your way into wild thing. So right foot is planted, left foot is lifted, we roll up and over through the hips. Remember, if you're wanting to take that twisted bind, take the right foot off the floor, so you're balancing on the left foot and right hand, and then squeeze and lift into your wild thing there. Perfect, well done. Looking good for 5, 4, 3, squeeze, keep lifting, 2, and 1. Take the left hand down, lower down onto the buttocks. We've got our reverse table and L-sit, so find that L-shaped position. Sit up tall, inhale, squeeze to lift the front body, working hard through the back body here to find that extension towards the ceiling, and then controlling the descent back to that L position with the buttocks lifted off the floor. Inhale, squeeze to lift. Exhale, slow, lower. So really working into the arms, into the shoulders. Squeeze to lift, final time. And to lower, well done. Drop down onto the bottom, rolling down through the spine. Let's find our fish pose. So you're tucking the fingers under the bum once more, squeezing in through the elbows, allowing the crown of the head to come down. And you can stay here. You might not want to get the arms involved. You might just want to take a lift up of the legs. You might want to include a squeeze, a lift and a lower. One leg, then the other. Or you could take both at the same time. Okay, but because we've not got the lower back on the floor, you have to be really careful on this one. So see how it feels. You might just want to take that static hold for another 3, 2, and 1. Bring the knees in, untuck the head, and rolling up from there. Turning to the left this time, working into our side plank. So you can keep the hips down. That left hip can stay connected to the floor if you like. Left hand is in line with the left hip, which is in line with the feet. Okay, you can take that, and you might want to take a squeeze and a bind of the right foot, or we're going to take a lift and a lower. So when you're ready, catch that balance. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Again, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. 2 more. Squeeze it up. And release. Well done. This is our final move in this section. And I'm coming into balance next. Perfect. Releasing that right hand down. Finding your full plank or your kneeling plank. Inhale, take the weight forwards. Exhale, lower down, low plank. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, back to your down dog. Well done. Now taking a little hop or skip or a jump forwards. Bringing the feet towards the fingers. And then from here, what we're going to do is lower down into a toe stand. But what I want you to try and do is bring the heels together. So it's a wide-kneed toe stand. So you're coming up onto the toes, clicking the heels together, so we're opening out through the hips. That's it. So we're working to gentle opening here into the hips, hands to heart center. So heels would be pressing together.
No place like home.
Great for alleviating joint pain. If you've got any in the knees, this one, so building up strength here. See if you can relax the shoulders a little bit. Just a challenging one on the balance. If you do need to take the hands down onto the floor, that's fine. Just try not to hunch through the spine. Keep a nice tall back. So abs should be engaged here as well. Trying to find lift and height for another 3, 2, and 1. Now you can use your hands to assist if you want, or I'm going to rise up into full height from here. So inhale, press up, and bringing the feet together, coming into chair pose. So taking the hands at heart center to start off with, if you like. Exhale, keep the feet connected as you lower down with the seat. Knees over ankles if you can, weight into the heels. Nice long spine. If you want to now take the arms out behind you, you can do. Or if you want to take the arms up into the air, you can do. But sinking down into our chair. That's it. So this is a nice one. Obviously it builds strength and tones the legs, but your Achilles tendon doesn't get a lot of stretching. So this is a good one for building strength around the Achilles and stretching out that Achilles tendon. Full lift up and lower. So really working hard on our legs at the moment. The next move is a bound angle chair. So we're going to be rolling onto the outside edges of your feet. If this does not feel comfortable for you, then I encourage you to stay with your normal chair pose. Okay, inhale and exhale down a bit more. Final breath here in full chair. Inhale. Exhale, good. Inhale to lift. All right, so as I was saying, if it feels okay to do so, roll onto the outside edges of your feet. So you're pressing the inside edges together. That's it. So again, hands to heart center. As you exhale, start to come down through the seat, taking the knees out wide. So it's a bound angle chair. Okay, extend the arms behind again if it's an option. That's it. So you can feel this really working into the glute medius at the back here. Obviously it's your hip opener as well, so you should feel that into the groin area. Try to keep the chest lifted, but without arching the back. So really tighten up the belly here. It's a good one, as you can feel. It's a good way to release a bit of stress from the hips as well. Keep coming down a little bit lower with your exhale if you can. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. That's it. So really nice working into the tendons, and the perineal tendon is on the outside of the foot, and the muscles coming down the outside of the ankle. All right, one more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Next inhale. Let's lift. Well done. Just releasing the feet, so you can really feel that on the inner thighs. Taking the right foot down, we're going to work into a balance revolve standing half moon. So taking a nice tall spine, ground down through that right foot, start to play around with relieving that left foot towards the back of your mat. We're going to float down with the left hand. You might want to pop it on a brick or some sort of prop if you can. Always feeling wobbly at this time of the morning, but when you get down there with the hand onto your brick or your prop, you might then start to think about opening out with this top arm. So we're aiming here to rotate the chest over towards the right hand side of your space. Make sure you're active in that lifted left leg, flexing the foot, kicking the heel up towards the sky. If you do that, you should really switch on your glute muscles, so working nice and hard into that back leg. Surprisingly good for digestion, this one. Lowering your stress levels. Obviously we're working on coordination as well. So breathing in here into your revolved half moon for another 5. We've got revolved triangle next. Lots of rotations today. 3. Maybe taking the gaze to your top fingers if you can. 2. Well done to all those who've not fallen over yet. And for 1, take the gaze down, release the right hand down, and take your left foot to the back end of your mat, turning the toes out. So you've got that heel to inner arch alignment, or heel to heel. Again, we're taking the revolve variation of triangle. So whilst you're down here, take your left hand onto your brick, onto any support that you can. So keeping both legs straight, and again opening out to the right. So foregoing our normal triangle, keep pressing down through the back leg if you can, through the outside edge of your left foot. Again, finding that rotation. Squeezing, lifting, holding, extending away with the right fingers for another 3. Also good for digestion as we're twisting. 2. And 1. Take the gaze down. Well done. Take the right hand down to frame the front foot and take a big step forwards. Back into your chair pose. So feet are together. Inhale, rise up with the arms. Sink down nice and low. Hold it there. 3. 2. 1. Roll onto the outside edges of the feet, coming back into that bound angle. So releasing the arms to heart center or releasing out behind you. I'm not going to stay here as long because we have built up some strength already on the other side. Keep sinking down if you can. Well done. As you progress through this round, see if you can work the outside edges of the feet a little bit closer. That's it. Final breath. Inhale. Exhale. Release. Well done. Inhale, rise up. Releasing the feet back down onto the floor, finding that connection. This time we're going to plant down through the left foot, taking the right hand towards the ground and opening towards the left. So if you have your right hand quite far forward, you're going to be nice and stable. If you want to work into that challenge of the balance a little bit more, bring it right back next to your left foot. So again, thinking about opening up through, she says, wobbling over. My balance at these morning classes is hopeless. So lifting up with that back foot, opening out through the chest. Nice stretch out through the shoulder as well. If that's too challenging, just keep looking down towards the floor. It's absolutely fine wherever you get to. Kick a bit higher if you can. Extend a bit further if you can. Squeeze for 3. Looking good, everyone. 2. And for 1, gaze comes down. Take the right foot to the back of the mat and release the right toes out to the side. Straighten out both legs, this time taking revolved triangle. If your hand doesn't come down to the floor, that's okay. Just let it point towards the floor as you open out. But if you have got a prop, it will help to stabilize you a little bit. Okay, so taking the right hand down, releasing the left hand into the air. 2 straight legs. Stacking the left arm on top of the right if you can. It's quite a challenging one, this, so feel free to get those props involved. Well done. Open and lift for 3. It's the final move in our balance section, coming into our transition, then our lunge section next. 2. And 1. Gaze down. Release the left hand down, framing that front foot and taking a big step back with the left foot. Good. Let's transition. Take the weight forwards. Inhale. Exhale. Elbows next to the rib cage. Low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale to your downward facing dog. So we're going to start off with a crescent lunge. I'll give you the option of taking your back knee to the ground, or maybe lifting off if you want that extra challenge, and taking an interlock of the hands. Are we ready? Inhale, right foot high. Exhale, knee comes to the nose, and continues its journey as you plant the right foot between the hands. So as I said, you can keep that back heel lifted, keep the back foot lifted, or if you want to drop down onto the left knee, that's fine. So we're taking a squeeze and lift. Inhale to rise up. So your basic crescent lunge, right knee over right ankle. Option here to take an interlock of the hands behind the back. So opening out through the front body even more so. Let those hips keep coming down towards the ground. So working with gravity on this one. Full breath in. Keep pressing away through that back heel. Let's see if you can come down a bit deeper. It's a real nice opener for the hips, for the chest, and for me, the shoulders after Rosie's sculpt session yesterday. Nice work. For 3. Keep lifting. 2. And 1. Release those hands down. Drop down onto the back knee if you're not already there. Working into a half split from here. So take a breath in as you release. Roll the hips towards the back end of your mat, extending through this front right leg. So you can keep the sole of the foot down on the ground. You might want to bring the toes up towards the ceiling. So see how this leg is feeling this morning. You can keep the back toes tucked or you can untuck them. It's entirely up to you. Try not to let the hips move around too much on this one. So you don't want your hips wonking off to the side. This right leg wants to be in direct alignment with the right hip. And you can always start to creep the fingers forwards, extending through that right leg. If you have got splits in your practice and you want to have a go at extending, you can also use props here to take lots of weight through the hands. You can start to slide away with that back leg. So you're coming down. You can always pop something underneath the back of your right thigh if you've got a brick or a towel or something like that. But making sure you're taking lots of weight through the hands here. Nice, big, deep breaths. Always a challenge, this one. So just increasing the range of movement at our hips. Perfect, well done. For another 5. 4. 3. 2. I think I'm stuck. No, I'm joking. 1. Okay, taking lots of weight into the hands, drawing that left knee back towards the front, and from there, planting through the right foot, tucking the back toes, and walking around to the left side of your mat. So we're coming into a wide-legged squat. So make sure the feet are parallel. You can walk the feet in a little bit if they've gone a bit too wide. And with a squat, we want the weight to be in the heel. So I want you to sink down with the butt towards the floor, okay? So you're in this knee over ankle, or in line with the ankle, rather than coming forwards over the toes, sending the butt back that way. Now with our arms, I want to take an eagle arm. So we're going to take the right arm, wrap it over the left. You can take a hug, you can take the backs of the hands together, or you can take that secondary bind, bringing the palms together. So chest is parallel to the floor. Inhale. Exhale, press the fingers away towards that left-hand side of your room. And imagine, as you do so, that your sit bones are pressing back the other way. So eagle's a great stretch across the shoulders, front and back of the deltoids. But don't forget about those hips. It's a squat. We want to come down deep. We're going to be working into the booty. That's it. Nice work, folks. For 3. 2. And 1. Release the hands down. Walk back round to the front edge of your mat. From here, we're going to take the left hand down, and we're going to take the right toes and turn them out towards the right side of the mat. We're going to drop that left hip down and release the right arm towards the back of your mat. So it's a variation on a twisted lunge. Okay, again working into the side body here. That's it. How's that feel? Get there eventually. That's the thing about these sequences. You'll get to learn them. That's why we do them for 8 weeks. So you're taking quite a lot of weight down through that left shoulder. It's a really lovely way of twisting through the torso. All these twists flush away any toxins, getting oxygenated blood to these muscles in the core. 1 more breath, inhale. And bringing the right hand down, back through center, taking the right foot between the hands and coming into a runner's lunge. So left heel is lifted, inhale to rise up, sweep the arms up high. Exhale, press that breath away. Inhale to lift. Alternatively, if you want to release the arms behind you on the exhale, you can. So there's 2 options there, inhale to lift, exhale to press away, or inhale to lift. Find length, exhale, release the arms behind, squeeze the shoulder blades together. 1 more of any variation, your choice. Inhale, lift, and exhale to release. Well done. Take the hands down, step back with the right foot. Inhale, find down dog, and let's go left side. Left foot lifts, left knee comes in, and then gently places between the hands. So we've got our crescent lunge. Remember, back knee can come down if you need. Inhale to rise up. So option to take the arms straight up into the air or interlock the hands behind the back. You choose. So keeping length through the spine here. So the crown of the head wants to be moving upwards as the hips come down. So we're arching through the spine a little bit on this one. Lift and press up the chest. Keep those arms moving for 3. And 2. Well done. And 1. Let's see how this left hamstring is going to feel. Coming down into our half splits, plant the hands either side of the left foot, drop down onto the back knee if it's not already there, and exhale your way back, working into your variation of half splits. Remember, hips want to be in line with that extended leg. Take the toes to the ceiling if you can. Maybe walk the fingers forwards if you can. If you're working towards your splits, then feel free to extend out in that back leg. I'm staying here for this one. Nice work, folks. For 5, 4,
takes me more than 5 seconds to get into it.
3, 2, and 1. Inhale, press up and tuck in the back toes. Walk your way around into that wide-legged squat once more. Feet to parallel. Hips come down, arms out wide, left over right this time. Taking that bind, dropping the seat right down, extending the fingers towards the right side of your room while letting the gaze come down towards that elbow crease. So we're keeping the back of the neck nice and long. Inhale. Exhale, come down a bit deeper. Challenge yourselves. Keep that bottom sinking south, really working into the inner thighs, toning the groin and the thighs here. Weight into the heels for 3, 2, we've got that funny twisted lunge coming up, and 1. Take the hands down, walk them around to the front edge of your mat, so you're framing that left foot, and then I want you to turn the left foot over towards the left side of the mat. As you do so, right hand plants, and we drop down onto the right hip, extending the left arm out behind us. So you're on the outside edge of your right foot, and you should be able to feel that stretch all the way up the right side of your hip and side body. For 3, well done, 2, 1, release back through center, and from there, making sure that left foot comes back into line with the left hip, finding runner's lunge. Inhale to lift. Remember, you've got that press away breath, or the arms behind you breath. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Or exhale behind you. You choose. Inhale. Strengthening the standing knee here. Strengthening the quads. And release down on your next breath out. Perfect. Well done. Take a transition or just holding down dog. You choose. Inhale forwards. Exhale low plank. Inhale lifting up, up dog. And rolling back to down dog. Hopping towards the front of our mat. Let's have a little play around with the core. Taking the soles of the feet together. We're starting off with our bound angle sit up. One of Rosie's favourites. So shuffle the heels and the hips as close as you would like. Taking the arms to reach between the legs, so facing towards the toes. We're going to take an inhale and a little squeeze and lift of the shoulders off the mat. Exhale to release down. Inhale, squeeze, so making sure the lower back connects with the floor. Letting gravity take care of the legs and that hip opener. Inhale to lift. And release. And again, one more. Inhale, lift. And slowly releasing all the way down. Well done. Bringing the knees together and working into a dynamic bridge. So we're going to take 2 lifts and lowers on both sides, but we're going to see if we can do it with one leg in the air. So it's entirely up to you. You can do it with both legs, feet grounded if you like. I'm going to take the left foot nice and high into the air. So lower back is connected, heel is next to the butt, and we're going to squeeze and see if we can float the hips up into the air. Now, if you have your arms down next to your body, that's going to allow you to keep a bit more balance. But if you want to make it more challenging, on this next one, see if you can take the arms up overhead at the same time. So bringing the chest up towards the chin, squeezing through the glutes, extending through that quad, lowering down, swapping over, bringing the left foot down, extending away through the right leg. And option to keep the arms down or float the arms up high. Let's go to this side. Inhale. Try not to swing around through the hips too much. Keep that base leg nice and strong. Lowering down. Well done. One more. Lifting up. I can't remember what we're doing next. And lower. Well done. Was that our second one? Yeah, good stuff. Bring the heels next to the butt. And this time we're going to take a side bend. So we're going to reach around with our left hand, tapping the little toe on our left foot. So we're squeezing the waist on this left side. Shoulders are lifted. Back to center. Exhale to the right. Back to center. To the left. Back to center. Nicely done. To the right. So you can feel that little pinch at the waist. One more each side. Nice work. All right, from there, taking the right foot onto the left thigh, bringing the left heel down. Let's take a lift up in our pigeon. So working into the hips once more, but combining it with that core workout. So inhale, squeeze to lift. Come right up into your pigeon bridge. Let that right knee drop down towards the floor. Hold it there for 3. Keep working into the glutes. Lift a bit higher if you can. 2. And 1. Lowering all the way down with control. Swap sides. Right foot plants, left foot lifts on. Are we ready? Let's go. Inhale, squeeze to lift all the way up. Open out through the left knee. Feel strong. Feel that openness through the front body. Exhale, slowly releasing down. And again, lift up, squeeze. Hold it there. Don't hold the breath though. Keep that breath flowing. Feel that expansion and opening through the front of the hips. And exhale, release down. Well done. Taking hold around the backs of the legs, we're going to rock our way up into a boat pose. So you can keep the feet down if you want, keep the legs bent if you want. Take the hands to heart center. Inhale, exhale, tap, back to center. Tap. If you want to make it more difficult, take the arms up and inhale, exhale, twist. So it's a Russian twist, but working from our boat variation. So lifting up through the chest, keeping the core nice and tight, making sure we've got no curvature through the spine. For another 3. Nearly there. 2. And a final 1. Well done. Releasing the feet down, taking a little seat as I explained to you one of the wild cards. So one of these wild cards, we've got a few lined up for this one. Some of them are quite challenging. I'm going to go for the easiest of these options for this one. I'll go to the other one tomorrow on Saturday morning. This one is a forearm split balance, okay? So what we're aiming to do is if you come into sort of a froggy dog position, all right, we're going to take the left forearm and plant it so it's parallel to the short front side of your mat. Okay, so your fingertips on the left hand are connecting with the right hand just to start off with. From there, I want you to reach around with your right hand and take a hold of your inside or outside of your right ankle. And then from there, squeezing through the belly, squeezing through the back body. See if you can start to lift up into that little pincer leg. So you're bending at the knee, bringing the left toe into the air and trying to hold that little balance. So keep the gaze down and then release whenever you're ready. That's it. So it's a nice little stretch out, working on shoulder strength will prep us for some other poses. Let's have a quick go on the other side before we come into our Shavasana. So come back into that little froggy dog. Right forearm comes down. Okay, planting down, so feel that weight even between the fingertips, so you're pressing down through the knuckles and the elbow, and then working into holding on to your left ankle, so press down through the ball of your left foot, see if the hips feel stable, and then start to float up with your right foot, so you're bending through that right leg. I guess you could extend it as well if you wanted to. Challenge that balance for 3, 2, and 1 slow controlled release from there.
Never done that with my body before.
Exactly. I like to throw different things in there. So it's not necessarily particularly hard in terms of strength wildcard, that one, but it is challenging when you put the split in, the forearm balance, and the leg lift as well. So just a bit of fun to play around with. Tomorrow, we'll have a go at this eagle leg side crow. So come on down, wherever you're ready, onto your mat. Just enjoy a quick happy baby. Take the peace sign fingers around the big toes, taking the soles of the feet up towards the ceiling, drawing the knees down on your breath out. Nice release of breath into the body. You can roll from side to side if that feels nice. Feel free to have another practice at that wild card. Yeah, relaxing the shoulders down. Well done. As ever, we always like to have a little tweak around, so we might change a few things. We'll see. So see what position you want to enter into your Shavasana today. You can take your corpse pose, legs long. If there's any other wiggles you want to take before you get there, of course you can do. It's your practice. Take the arms long. You can always bring the soles of the feet together, take a reclined butterfly pose. Just taking the eyes to rest shut. Really working hard with the mind to keep it blank. Allow that blank canvas to overtake that space between your eyes. Not focusing on anything, letting the breath flow. If any thoughts start to creep in and try to encroach on your blank canvas, use the breath just to blow them away. Allow the whole of the body to settle down and relax, to release. Let your belly be soft. Let your shoulders be heavy, your hips heavy, all 4 of your limbs, or 3, or 2, depending on how many you've got. So this simple action of taking time to be still with the body, let the mind be still, it's really quite difficult, it's quite challenging. Hopefully, as the pace of life has slowed down somewhat during this lockdown, you might have had more opportunity to do a little bit more yoga, even if you just, your thoughts maybe slowing down, pace of life slowing down just a little bit. Taking one more breath here, inhale. Let it out, a little sigh on the exhale on this one. And then just moving back into the body, wiggling the toes and fingers, drawing one knee in, then the other, planting down through the base of the spine, just having a little roll, maybe rolling onto your side or rolling up to seated from there. And I'm going to swizz round to any comfortable seat. Again, coming back to that nice stacked position through the vertebrae, relaxing the shoulders. Let's take one big breath in together. Inhale. Bringing the hands to prayer pose. Releasing down to the heart center. Well done, beautiful yogis. Have a lovely, lovely Friday. We've got Pilates at 9:45 with Rosie if you fancy a bit more core action. And namaste. Have a good one. Take care, everyone. See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Well done, Instas. Good work out there. See you soon.